I'm making some miniature vintage pans for Clara's kitchen, inspired by the ones my grandmother used. So I started by cutting a strip of paper the height I wanted the pan to be. Then I rolled it around something that was about the width I wanted, just adding a little glue as I roll it up. I use one long strip, but depending on your scale, you may need to add another. I added a little glue to some paper, folded it over, and glued it again to make the pan bottom. Mine was 3 layers. I almost forgot. I'm keeping the rolled paper on the form for this next part. I'm gluing on a slender triangle. You could use the one from my mini mug pattern in a previous video. Just adding glue again as I rolled. It gives it a nice rounded edge, but you could also use a simple strip of paper. Then I glued it down to the bottom piece I made earlier. I set it aside to dry and started making a few more. I wanted a whole little set, so I started wrapping them around different things I had on my desk. I didn't recreate every size my grandmother had, but I wanted a little variety so they didn't all look the same. I didn't want everything round either, so I pinched the ends a bit to make this one more oval, kind of like a roasting pan. Once they were dry, I trimmed the excess paper from the bottom nice and close to the pan. I also lightly sanded the bottom edge so it feels a bit softer. For the lids, I just turned the pan upside down and traced it onto some scrap foam board. This makes sizing really easy. Whenever I cut foam board, I like to use a fresh blade. It makes it so much easier and a cleaner cut too. I'm peeling the paper off one side, and that will become the lid top. I lightly sanded the edges so they don't look jagged. Then I pinched down the sides all around the lid to help create that curved appearance. This is where it's really starting to look like a lid. I did a little more sanding just to soften the curve, and I definitely recommend wearing a mask for this part because it can get a little dusty. It's starting to look like a pan now. I just need to keep that lid from sliding off. I grabbed some cereal box board and traced the lid onto it. I want it a little smaller so the lid lifts off easily. So I traced a circle on the inside of that circle. Then I just cut the inside line so the lid won't fit too snug because I didn't want it getting stuck on the pan. I glued it down, trimmed it out again, and attached it to the back of the lid. Now it stays put and doesn't slip off. This one fits a little snugger, but it can still be removed easily. I painted a very thin layer of wood glue all over the pans and the outside of the lids. Just be careful around the inside top of the pan so it doesn't get too thick or the lid won't fit properly. I almost forgot to tell you, before adding the wood glue to the lids, I gave them a coat of gesso. It helps the glue dry faster and it keeps it from getting bubbly. I lightly marked the lids so I'd know where to place the knobs. It helped me keep them more centered. It just makes placing them less fiddly for me. I made the knobs from a rolled paper strip, added a few hole punches glued on top, and glued a tiny piece of wire up through the center. After the knobs dried, I added a light layer of wood glue over the top. I'm going to use this photo as a reference while painting so I can get them looking close to hers. The first thing I did was splatter paint them, and it can be a bit messy. I have a small amount of paint on this paintbrush and use the handle of something to rub across the bristles. I think this will work nicely as the base, and the color is a really good match also. Now on to the lids. I decided to use this brown. It was a pretty close match. Then using a tiny brush, I painted the knobs black, even the sides, not just the tops. I can't believe how close they're looking to the real thing. The lids weren't all one color, they were darker around the edges, so I'm recreating that with some chalk pastels. I didn't go too heavy, just enough to add some depth. I'm using some triple thick, but really anything that adds a bit of shine would work. I think my triple thick might be getting a little old. Now for the scariest part for me, painting the details. I've been dreading this a little because I'm not the most confident with painting. I practiced it on paper first, and now I'm just going slow. These pans are called Sanko ware. I remember when she got them back in the 80s. I could be wrong, but I remember when Dixie had a store display where you collected one or two pieces at a time. She was so excited when she finally completed the whole set. To finish off the painting, I added a layer of triple thick to the pans, just like I did with the lids. It really brings them to life. I wonder what she'd think seeing them in miniature. I made a couple of different handles. The black ones were just bent cardstock, and the other was made by rolling paper strips around a Q-tip. The real pan handle was black, but I just wanted to try something a little different and make it more of my own. Then I painted them and even added a touch of chrome. They're pretty simple, but add so much detail. Even though I love these lids as they are, you can see they're a little textury. I wanted to try an experiment using paper clay in the beginning to smooth that out. I do think it looks a bit smoother now, but really either way works, so I decided not to redo all the lids. I wish my grandmother could see her little pans in miniature. Now whenever I see them in Clara's kitchen, it takes me right back to Grandma's kitchen. I think they look right at home on Clara's newly refurbished stove, but I'll show you more of it next time. Thank you everyone for watching today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.